Okay, here we are. I'm going to try to do the rotation upgrade on my NexDome here this afternoon. Only got a couple hours before it gets dark, and see what happens. Don't know if I got enough time or not. First thing I can say is that's an 11-pound box. It came from Canada, granted, but it cost almost $90 to ship that 11-pound box here. But shipping is ridiculous. I don't know if the shipper actually has anything to do with it, but that's extreme. Let's see if we can get this open easily. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, come on. Okay, let's scrap the scissors. They're really not made for that. Well, my scissors are stuck on my finger. Can't get them off. Pushed them on too far. There we go. Okay, let's try the Milwaukee razor knife. That probably will work better. There we go. Much better. Let's see if we can get this open. Staples in it. There's also more tape on it. Let's see. It's packaged well. There we go. There we go. So that's it. The tracks. These new tracks. Square holes. I'm sure everybody's seen these now so far that's got a NexDome. There's the retention stuff and the hardware. That's what it is. Some hardware. This is the part I'm mostly interested in, was the retention. We'll see how that works. All right, well, I got to get the old track off. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so the first thing I got to do is take this drive wheel off of the old one, or for the old track. And I had a bunch of Allen wrenches sitting in here. Of course, none of them fit that, so I had to go get my Allen wrenches. This is a 3mm Allen wrench. And I don't know if it came with one. It may be laying here somewhere, but I got tired of looking, so I just went and got my Allen wrenches. I bought metric and standard, so pretty easy to just take that off. Get that off so it doesn't interfere with what I'm doing. Hopefully that comes off real easy. Should. Maybe I didn't loosen enough. Anyways, you get the idea. Take that off, and then I'm going to start here. And this should come off pretty easy, but you'll see this track is never stuck good, and I put it on in the summertime, and I cleaned it good and everything. You can see right there, believe it or not, that pucker right there did not seem to affect anything. I thought that would be an issue, but actually that never affected anything. So, all right, I'm gonna get this thing off. We'll see how this goes. I'll be back. Okay, this is coming off easier than I thought. It just pulled right off. Never thought much of the double-sided tape personally, but definitely come off easy. So that's all that requires. Getting that drive wheel off right there was a little more involved than I thought. That took some wiggling. I didn't think that thing was that tight, but it was, so it's off. But anyways, this is coming off pretty easy. I'm shocked. I thought I was going to have to fight with it. But it looks like it's going to peel right off. Okay, so the track's all off. That was actually way simpler than I ever anticipated. It came right off. And I wiped it down with a little bit of lacquer thinner, just to clean it. Not necessary because this new one bolts on. So the next step is to go get yourself a PBR, because I got to have a PBR. You know, these college kids think they discovered something new, but when I was a teenager, and that's been a lot of years ago, I lived on a farm in Ohio, and we had a town next door that had a distributorship, and PBR was one of their main brands. And so I grew up on PBR. I know that kind of sounds messed up, but I grew up on PBR. So back in those days, you know, nobody asked for IDs. So anyhow, long story short. So next step is to go to NexDome, because the instructions for installing this are on there. And so you go to the main site. The easiest way I found to get the instructions is to go shop, and then NexDome accessories. Go down here and click on quick view for the kit for the rotation. Let's see. I guess that was quick view was the wrong thing. Click on that so it doesn't open quick view. So you get to the screen, the main screen for that kit, and then you go down here and it says installation instructions, and there you go, there's installation instructions. So I'm going to take a look at this. I've already looked at it obviously, but it's pretty simple, but I will be back. Okay, so the first step in the instructions is to figure where your first track's going to go. It's going to split the shutter opening, and I don't know that it matters where you measure from, but I measured from this to the same on this side, and that's the center. It was like 13¼ inches. So I don't know that it matters where you measure from as long as it's the center. And then the other thing is they want you 3/4 inch down from this lip down on here. So what I did is I went and down 3/4 inch, use my little handy tape measure, and basically just held it like that sideways, and then took my Sharpie and just put a dot every few inches, probably every 4 inches, all the way around. And without the track on there and the wheel on there, you can just stand here and rotate it and just put a dot every few inches at 3/4. So that's where your track's going to sit. So let's see how it goes from here. Okay, so the other thing I did is I laid this track flat. I put it down on the bottom of my observatory and pushed it flat, then measured it. And this is the center, roughly, pretty daggone close, and I transferred that mark around to the front. So that's going to be the center there, which matches up with the center mark I put there. So this is going to be my first track. So we'll see how that goes. Then it's 1/4 inch holes at every one of the places where their holes go. And that wouldn't necessarily be where I put the dots. I just figured the dots in certain places would make it easier to line up. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, problem number one. I knew this wasn't going to go as easy as I was hoping. So that's where the top of the track needs to go on those dots. And that's obviously my drive. But look at this. If I bring that over there, I am way above my dots, and I'm hitting the top of the motor. So this is going to have to be remounted. It's at the wrong height. So, which worked fine with my other track, but it's not going to work with this. So that's going to be fix number one. I got to take this off. I think I was going to take it all the way off, going to get the tracks mounted, and then readjust the drive motor to make it fit the application. So yep, I knew it wouldn't be that simple, so here we go. Okay, we're going to try this and see if it works. I found out that to hold this up there, unless you got help, and I don't even know if help would help, it's really a good idea to have clamps. Right here, you can clamp it. And when you get over here, I think it'll hold itself. But here's another problem. Now, get me, I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong here. But they said put the first one in the middle of the frickin' shutter. Well, wouldn't you think you would think about hole location? Because look where that hole is going to end up. Could have been moved either way, just a little bit, and it would have hit flat. This is going to hit right on the edge of that. And I know I'm in the center. I don't know. You know, I don't want this to be a NexDome dash bashing video, but my God, please think things out a little better. So I'm gonna drill my first hole here and I'm gonna put a bolt in it, and guess we'll go from there and see what happens. And therein lies the problem of having that jammed in that corner like that. It works, but I couldn't put the rubber grommet on there because it would not fit. Now once I get everything put on, I may take that back off and it should go on, but I don't know. It's just poor engineering, as usual. Not surprised. Okay, it's getting dark. So I got the first piece on, and I can already see where possibly it's going to need more screws, because as you can see, let me get this to focus. That one is up where it needs to be, real close, but then these fell down way below it. And as you can see, you can adjust these up. So it looks like it could have used some more screws instead of 4 per track. And you can get this first one on by yourself, but after that, you are not getting them on by yourself. You're gonna need 2 people. And I did get this on here, out here, after I got the other ones in. So I think from here it's gonna go pretty easy, but I can see where we're gonna have to maybe modify this with some extra screws. We'll try it and see what happens. It might work, but I think some extra screws would definitely be a better deal. I don't know why. You can put screws every one. It's not going to hurt a thing. But I think every 3 maybe would probably be the ticket. I don't know. I have to look at that when we get to that point. But anyways, done for tonight. That's as far as I made it. So a little more complicated than what you think, but we're gonna see. I hope it's worth the extra money. I think if they get the retention to work, that'll be worth the money for the retention, if nothing else. So, all right, I'll be back. Okay, so with the help of my lovely wife, the track is installed. That was interesting. And almost every one of these tracks had one that hit right there on that corner. Not sure about this gapping thing. That's pretty wide there, but man, it's really hard to control. I'm not sure exactly how you do it. I guess we're going to find out if that worked. Highly recommend when you do this, have 2 drills. We only had the 1 because we're in the middle of remodeling a house, another house, and all our other drills are over there, so I only had the 1. But 2 would be good. You can put your nut driver in one and then your drill bit in the other instead of switching back and forth. That was kind of a pain in the butt. But other than that, that's as much as we're doing tonight. We're gonna go watch football. Talk to you later. Okay, so I got my new drive wheel that was missing when I first opened the box there. I didn't notice it because I was doing a video, but if you look at the video in the beginning, you'll see that the drive wheel is not in that box. So anyways, got it installed, and I got my retention installed. And I'm sorry that this has got like shadows in it, but it's dark and I'm using my headlamp to film this. But here's the problem I see. When you're putting this track on, you can see I put marks on there. I measured down 3/4 of an inch is what it's supposed to be. But here's the problem right there. Obviously it's too high to let that clear, and this jumps out every time it gets to this point. So we're gonna have to take, and I think I recommend this to anybody who's gonna buy one of these. I would take this wheel on your retention and use it to set your track so it's below this lip right here, because when it hits that lip like that, it kicks it out. So I think that's one thing you got to do, and I think that wheel is the ticket for setting this track. Putting it on is a pain in the butt. It really is. So it's going to take some tweaking. Probably what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to elongate these holes here a little bit. There's one there, like it showed right there. The next one's clear over here. So I may only have to do this one and then drop that down a little bit. But you can see the dots. Sorry about the shadow. It's a little high right there. But it jumps out here. And you can see why. Because it's it's pushing it out right there where it's hitting that. And as far as I can tell, there's no way to adjust it. I want to look at that a little closer. So anyways, I'll be back. Okay, here we are again. You gotta excuse me, I'm working with my headlamp still. So this one here, this retention gear, for some reason kept wanting to jump out like I showed in the earlier video there. And I thought that it was because of this here, but that really don't seem to be the, I'm pointing at this, hard to see, sorry. This bridge here, I didn't think it was adjusted correctly, the track was too high. But I'm not 100% sold, that's the reason. Now, because it's running fine, I put some dry graphite on it. And this is like the third rotation and it hasn't jumped out. Let's go see what the other ones look like. There's one here. These ones haven't jumped out at all. They run pretty good. So I don't know what the difference is. So I'm gonna put that dry graphite on all them. What I did is I actually went around and took all my bolts out of my stanchions because I thought maybe there was some reason my dome wasn't round enough or something. But the other drive worked fine on it, the old one. So I'm not sure that's the case either. But it seems to be working now. So maybe we got it adjusted and it's going to work the way it is. See you later. Okay, here's where we're at. Let's see what happens here. Here's one of the problems right there. Only when it's going fast, and I don't know. It's like the wheels catch, like right there. I'm not sure. It's only when it's moving fast. When it's moving slow, it works fine. And then this pops out every time. I do not know why I have not figured that out. I thought I had it figured out, but now I'm not sure. Let's see what this rotation does. It did it, almost did it there. You can see I sprayed that graphite all over there and mistake. The graphite didn't really help anything. The void sure made a mess and it's almost impossible to get off of there. So I'm gonna live with it for right now. So that is one full rotation. That's back to where we started. This here has got me fumbugled. I have no idea. The other ones don't jump out, just this one, for some odd reason. And it goes right back in. Just don't know why it jumps out. So, anyways, I got to figure this out. I don't know if I need to put more bolts in here to make this tighter. I don't know. It's typical. You know, this is the way this NexDome thing's always gone. About ready to tear it down, sell it for half of what I got in it, let somebody else beat their brains out with it and build an ROR. Might be my next thought. That jumped out again. Jumps out every time. I can't make a full rotation. And I don't know why that's doing that. I can't figure it out. See, this might do it this time. There's no reason to the rhyme. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it don't. There it's wanting to slip air, but it didn't. It's gonna go full rotation, it looks like. I don't know, I'm fumbugled. I really am. Well, that time I went around and didn't slip. Tried to, but it didn't do it, so anyhow, this thing here, I don't know. I guess there's 3 of them, and this is the only one that jumps out all the time. I don't know what that is all about. Can't quite figure it out. So I thought it was this rim here, or rim right here, but I'm not thinking that's the reason, because the other ones go across that rim the same way and they don't jump out. So anyways, this is the last video I'm going to make on this. I'm going to post this up and everybody can make their own decisions if this is a worthwhile upgrade. I'm dubious personally. So I'll have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.